What's going on, folks? We are back. We are live. Let's see. Let's put that up there. Let's see if this thing is gonna do its due diligence today. All right. So, what is going on, folks? Mr. Soul of a Man. We are back one more time. Glad to be in the service one more time. All right, so today we are talking about faith in the soil, watch God work. We are talking about we are talking about faith in the soil. We're talking about watch God work. So yeah, man. So happy Monday out there to everybody. It was like it's it's interesting. Like here, it was like when I went out earlier this morning running errand. It was the skies were just dark. I mean, the skies were just pitch black dark. Like I'm not kidding. And as I as I was going, the weather had gotten really bad. So I decided to turn around. So I waited in the car for a little while. Then now I look outside. It's like it's sunny and it's like it never even rained. And that's the interesting thing. That's what we are getting into right now. How So we're talking about, the seeds have been planted, watch God work. Because it's great and beautiful soil. The rain has come and gone. Now you're gonna see. Let me make sure this thing. So now you're going to see some. Now you're going to see some amazing sunshine coming through in your life, really and truly. I get a lot of I get a lot of yeses across the like I used to watch wrestling and there's one wrestler he's yes, yes, yes. So I get a lot of I get a lot. What am I saying, wrestling? I'm getting a lot of yeses across the board, like seriously. Oh, thank you. um, yeah, and the not really. Let's see. One second, folks. There we go. Yeah. So the amazing thing is that your your soil has been tended to. Your soil is now immaculately ripe for planting these amazing seeds. And like I was saying, I'm getting a lot of yeses coming across the board. I know a lot of you have been tossing and turning. You've been through some things. Let's just say that you have been through a lot of turmoil. You have, and especially it feels like early on in your life. Just a lot of figuring it out. A lot of people doubting you, but you're coming into what is now going to be a very beautiful and powerful and immaculate season. Don't forget to give me some thumbs up, folks. Tap the screen and all of that stuff, and don't forget to subscribe. So yeah, so you're coming into this beautiful and powerful immaculate season into your life because the harvest has been tended to. So what I'm getting is I'm getting a lot of yeses across the board. This is because you have been faithful. Yeah, of course you had your doubts. Of course you had your doubts. When is this going to happen? When is my life going to change for the better? When am I going to have to stop going through all of these? let's just say unique scenarios, job after job, just stuff that just sucks. Seriously, so now all of that, you're coming to this beautiful combination of, it's almost like you are the valedictorian of this season. And I know we are probably in the season of graduations of, high school, college, or lit. So we are in the, we are beautifully and boldly moving forward. We are in the seasons of we're in the times, and we are in the seasons of graduations. So congratulations. It feels like you're the valedictorian of not just this season, but the seasons moving forward. You're the valedictorian because you worked hard. And despite, maybe some doubts here and there, despite you stopping, despite you maybe listening to other people saying, well, maybe you should try this, maybe you should try that. Something always in the back of your mind said, nope, we're going to stick this out. We're going to continue to go through what we have to go through to get to what we have to go to get to what we have to get to. And that's just naturally what the bottom line is. You continue to move, you continue to press forward. I know that's a great story in my life, all of the things that I've had to go through, all of the places I had to apply to and apply myself, and all of those so-called people, all of those so-called people all of those so-called people that you had to deal with. Yes, stay hydrated, folks. But while that was going through, you had people praying for you. You were speaking over your life. You were manifesting greater things over your life. While you were, it felt like you were in a dryer and a washing machine, and you were just tumbling and flipping around. And a lot of times you didn't know, hey, how are you? Don't forget to subscribe. So a lot of times you were just tumbling and flipping around, and you had no idea, no clue how you were going to get through this, how you were going to come out of it, how you were even going to look and feel, when you came out of it. So what do they say? Ebbs and flows in life. So many things that we want. It's almost like It's interesting because it's almost like It's almost like, how when a kid goes into a store, the kid sees all of these different toys and candy. The child wants everything, just like us. We want. It's like we naturally want it all. We graduate, we elevate, we get the job, we start working the job. After a little while, we're like, this job sucks. These people get on my nerves. I'm ready to do something different. That's just naturally how some of us are out here. Especially if you're unique, if you're different, if you are if you've always felt that something inside of you always said that, what, I was chosen. I was chosen to come down here for a different reason. Let me see something. Let me take this off of here for a second. Let me see where this thing is. So it's almost like, but yeah. So it's almost like it's almost like you've always been rooted in greatness. It's like it's almost like when you were younger, you were one of these kids. You were just different. If you had what some of these other kids had, you see these kids just graduating from high school at the age of 5, and going to the Ivy Leagues, and finishing with their 8 doctorates at the age of 9. You would have probably been one of those kids. But fret not. That greatness is still that greatness is still instilled within you. That's the beautiful thing, and that's the epic thing, and that's the most powerful thing, because there is there it's like God is working behind the scenes for you. I'll say that. um, your ancestors are pushing, rooting, they're moving, and it's like there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes for you. In the next, this next version of you is, you're moving from a season of incomplete to complete. I'll say that. So you're moving from a season of incomplete to complete. So we're watching, we're feeling, we're feeling God work. You are the outcome of everything that you have been through, because you didn't cave in, you didn't throw in the towel, even though sometimes other people wanted you to quit. You stayed, you stayed diligent, and you stayed there for as long as you needed to. I don't know. Yeah, but you stayed there for, as long as you stayed there for as long as you needed to. So now moving forward, you're going to start to reap the rewards of that harvest. You're going to start to see things taking shape in your life. It's almost like these things are going to immaculately start to take shape, just from the divine supernatural to the natural, in your life. And you may say, well, Solo man, you don't know what I've been through, and I've had it so hard. I had to go through the, what do you call it, like, I had to go to foster care. Man, it was rough, and this and that. But I mean, I was homeless, and I had to go through all of these things in my mental and my physical health and this and that. And but with all of that said and done, here you are. You're still standing, and granted, you're moving forward to things that are going to be supersedingly, they're going to abundantly blow your mind. Really and truly, these things are going to blow your mind. It's just the connection. Maybe something in the middle of the night told you to get up and move. So you were, I'm trying to find the word. You were faithful to that. You were faithful to that, and you got up, and it's like you moved to a new city on a shoestring budget. But your new place, you got furniture, you got everything that you need, and you have everything to get, to continue to feed you, to pay your bills, to do all of that stuff, and everything around you is going to continue. Everything around you is going to continue to grow. Everything around you naturally is going to continue to flow. Even though sometimes it feels like we are just like in this, like we're just moving at like a snail's pace when things are moving really, really, really fast. So continue to do the work that you're doing. Can really and truly continue to do the work that you're doing. You planted a lot of seeds. Like myself, I have planted, man. It's like I feel like I have manifested and prayed for like acres and acres and acres and acres of stuff. It's like it's almost like, to see the whole thing, you would have to like get in a helicopter, go way up, and just look out, and as far as vast as the eyes can see. All of this, and these times, all of this is yours. You're just looking. It's just rows and rows, and land upon land upon land upon land, like so vast. It blows you away, and you're like, how? You're like, oh, you're like, all of this is all of this is for me. But in a time, in a time circumspectually, that this is not just, it's not just about you or me. This is, they're big, they're way, really and truly, there are bigger things at play. Honestly, there are bigger things at play. Let me see if I can do that. I don't know how many. Yeah, so it's like, there are bigger things at play here, for you in the now, in the now, for you. This isn't a time to this isn't a time to get down on yourself. This isn't a time to stop, and it's okay to stop and rest and think, but don't stop, rest, and think, and just stop and give up. This isn't that kind of time. We're moving forward. We are moving forward to greater things. This is for, it feels like it's just for a faithful few, because so many have, I don't know, just feel really, really and truly, feels like so many have given up. So many have just naturally thrown in the towel, so to speak. But um so yeah, so we're talking about, I think it's like the seeds have been planted, watch God work, something like that. But it's just going to be, in these next seasons, it's going to be so miraculous. Sometimes I feel like when I get on here, I feel like I feel like Noah. They said Noah. Some people say 30, 40 years. Some people say 100 years, when he, to build that ark and to tell people, hey, y'all's going to flood, and it doesn't rain a lick, and people looking at you like whatever. But hey, in these seasons, I have to stand up, and I have to do, I have to do what it is that I have been appointed to do. So, and that is just it. And it's like somebody said, this is just like practice. Man, we talking about practice? Yeah, for me, I feel like this is practice, getting up, speaking in front of people, because, very soon there's going to be these large crowds of people looking and wanting to hear from yours truly, standing room only, my name on billboards, my books centered, showcased all over the place, all over the world, like I'm getting a Taj Mahal. Like really and truly, that's what I feel for my life. That's what I feel for your life. Things, moving to the big time, right about now, just really and truly moving to the big time, like your own everything, like your own building, your own trucking company, your own land, your own, your own everything. That's what it is. You're owning it now. That's the beautiful part about it. Moving forward, you're owning it now. One day you're gonna look and say, man, you know what? I used to see that guy on social media. Now he's doing this and he's on there, and blah blah blah, and XYZ. I never really, I would pop in his lives, and then I would pop out, and but never really, you know, um, right. Grace is grace is if you are, if you are anointed in this season, you're going to see blockbuster changes in your life, like really and truly because of the things that you have gone through, because of your faithfulness, because of your, because of your diligence, and maybe you peak this way, peak that way. It's like everybody, it just feels like, you know not not trying to focus on anybody else's, grass green on the other side, all that, but it just feels like everybody else is, like they're happy and they're just, but you never know, man. You never quite know what people are going through, and because of your diligence, because of your diligence, because of your faithfulness, because of your fruitfulness, you are going to be amazingly surprised, and what is going to be laid, what is going to be laid in front of you. It's almost like I hear these trumpets blowing, and I just see I see I just see you standing there, and like there's this immaculate treasure room, and somebody saying, like, whatever you want in here is yours. Like, what, like, if you want it all, take it all. But you're not going to be able to take everything. Well, they say you can't take it with you, but anyway, um yeah, they're just, man, people are just going to be surprisingly, amazingly, and people are just gonna. I feel like I've been on here longer because maybe it's just the. I feel like this topic is a little deeper. I don't know. It feels like this topic is for. I don't know why I would. I'm not sure today, but it just really feels like this is. I feel like this. Um, I feel like this weight of abundance, man. I do. I feel like this weight of abundance and blessings and amazing turnovers. If you've had like turnovers in friendships and relationships and partnerships and whatever ships in your life, you're coming into an amazing turnaround, and you're going to be amazingly happy. And don't forget to subscribe, folks. So you are going to be you're going to be amazingly, amazingly, amazingly happy. Seriously. And this time, there's no stopping you. There's you are gonna want for nothing. Like, really and truly, you're gonna want for nothing. Um, of course, um, ask for the wisdom to be able to invest things very, very brilliantly. But you are, you're just because you surrendered in those moments. You said, like, God, I cannot do this alone. I need you now. Like, I need you. Seriously, I need those divine winds to come into my life and blow these things away, or blow my mind, or uh, shape things around me. Send your angels now down here to push me in the right directions. Help me to manifest all of these things that are supernaturally supposed to come into my life. That I can feel. Let me look eye to eye with my destiny, with my purpose, with my um I don't know, with everything that I am supposed to be doing, not just in this season, but the seasons moving forward. Really and truly. A lot of people have to a lot of people have to see it and touch it before they start to believe, and this is not for those people. I am not for those people. Seriously, they're going to look at you and be like, well, in the times that we're living in, someone like you isn't supposed to. But yeah, I am. Someone like me is supposed to, because that's naturally, that's the that's the setup. Like, really and truly, that's the setup. For everything. That's how everything. What's going on, sir? Yeah, that's how everything. That is the alignment. That's a line. It's like you get a great haircut. You sit in a chair, the price is right. And you get up, and you look in the mirror, and you just, like, you feel like $1,000,000. So that's how you're gonna you. It's about, you just got your divine haircut, and now now it's not just, you're going to feel you're going to be able to feel this. You're going to be able to feel, you can see the check. I can see, I can see the checks. I can see the checks being written, and and now we are, now it's in an amazing time where, all of those things you're going to be able to take to the bank. I'm getting internationally because I just feels like everything monetarily out here is really and truly about to, I don't know. God is doing some very powerful things out here in the world. Seriously. Mm. It's almost like God is saying, because you are mine, I am here. I am with you. Just a whisper shakes, changes. Just a whisper shakes and changes everything. It's almost like the it's almost like the voice is saying that, I've been with you this whole time, and I have been with you this whole time, and I will continue to be with you. Behold, greater is to come into your life, a greater land, greater things. Greater things have greater things have I set before you. Now I am going to walk with you, because you are my divine, you are my anointed, you are my chosen. Don't be hard on yourself. I understand. I was with you even when you were within that cell, even when those people left you, even when they thought that you were talking about stuff, and they everything that you said, everything that you've prophesied, these things are going to start to come to pass. People are going to really and truly start to pay attention to you. Um, people are going to start to come to you. People are going to need you. People are going to need people are going to need you. The one who you are the chosen. You are the chosen. You are to lead, to guide, to facilitate. You are going to be, the word blessed doesn't even cover the check. Seriously, the word blessed does not even cover the check in the table. Because you are going to be able to just to eat off of your anointing alone. Like, seriously, you are just going to be able to eat off of your anointing alone. The celebration. These are generational circumstances that you walk that you walked away from, that you're walking. These are generational circumstances that you walked away from, that you're walking towards. This isn't about your astrological sign and any of that stuff. This is way bigger than that. You're going to be able to you're going to be able to chew what other people may not understand. You're going to be able to chew the fat of the land. Really and truly, you're going to be able to chew it, digest it, all of that stuff. Because it's just all I'm just saying is just watch God work. Watch God work in the season. Watch how things start to move around you. Watch how things start to take shape. Mindful of what you're saying, what you're thinking, because this is a very powerful season of revelation. To a lot of people in this season, things taste bland. They don't see it, they can't feel it, they can't understand it. It's almost like they are barren, they're shoeless. But you have these miraculous shoes on your feet that are just going to be able to take you anywhere, take you everywhere. If you haven't, hold on. If you haven't asked for it, now is the time. Start. If you haven't asked for it, now is the time. Seriously, continue to put it out there. Continue to do what it is that continue to do what it is that you do best. But your it's like the bell, man. I hear this bell Um, I don't know. It's like there were. I don't know why they got rid of all the bells, but it's like the bell. It was time for church or school because you would hear the bells. You would always hear like some kind of ding or ring or something. The bells, the frequencies, the vibrations are around you. They're lifting you up. They're pushing you forward. Seriously. This is like the Thundercats, like this is sight beyond sight, grace beyond grace, power, power beyond power at your fingertips. Now is your time. Now is your time. Now is your time to go and do what it is that you have to do. Now is the time to go and file that paperwork, reach out to those people, do what it is that you have to do. Be unbounded, be unrivaled in this, be on, just be and go forward and do these miraculous things, and the times, just go forward and because they're gonna meet you like it's gonna meet you like halfway, but go and you're just gonna see it. You're gonna start to not just see, feel. You're gonna really feel this takeover, this anointing, like taking. It's almost like it's almost like a vastness of oil that's just not like the oil that you put in a car, but this anointing oil that you put over yourself that is almost like leaking and bleeding out for you, for this is the showing and this is the time, this is the foretelling of the lamb, for that time is near, for that time the time is short, the time is very short, so we have to move. We know we may have questions, but those questions will get answered while you're moving. So we gotta go. We have to continue to move. It's like if you wake up at night and you tell your family, "Hey, get up, we gotta go." They're like sleeping. I don't know. Like get your ass up. Oh my god, yeah, look, we gotta move, man. What was the name of that show? I forgot. She said, "Get your A up, because we gotta come." You know how it is, like with melanated people. We one of us start running. It's like you just pick up the low ones, and we gotta go, man. And that's what it is right now. So whew, sitting on top of a gold mine, really and truly, sitting on top of the gold mine. Hmm. Also, it feels like you will be feels like you'll be thirsty no more. That's why I told people earlier. Don't forget to subscribe, folks. I told people earlier, stay hydrated, and that's going to be important. So you will be. That's a cool topic, but you will be thirsty no more. Really, really, and truly, you will be thirsty no more. So yeah. So yeah. All right, y'all. That's pretty much all that I have. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this. But yeah, that's a lot to digest. But all right, but don't forget to subscribe, folks. I will holla at y'all either tonight or first thing tomorrow morning. But yeah, have a great week ahead. Continue to do the work. Continue to pray and manifest and all of that good stuff. So, but yeah, just but just pay attention to what God is doing, and just pay attention to what God is doing in this season. But thank y'all for joining me. All right, Soul of a Man, folks. As always, I'm out this piece. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.